The desert wind cut across the training range like a blade, carrying dust, doubt, and the weight of 1,000 unspoken judgments. Boots stamped the gravel with practiced confidence as rifles were checked and scopes adjusted, while, at the far end of the line, a 19-year-old girl stood still with a borrowed rifle, a slim frame wrapped in fatigues that seemed a size too big, her face unreadable under the sun. She had arrived with no reputation, no swagger, and no shield from the laughter that rippled when her age was whispered. By the end of the day, the wind would carry something else entirely: silence. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet power of underestimated hearts, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Bright Hearts. Your support keeps stories like this alive, stories that remind us how quickly doubt can crumble when courage stands its ground. She had not come here to prove anything to anyone, at least not at first. The path that led her to the range had begun in a small town where mornings were measured by chores and evenings by the soft hum of a radio on the porch. Her mother worked 2 jobs, her father had left early, and responsibility had arrived before childhood had finished packing its bags. What she did have was patience, the kind that grows when you learn to listen more than you speak. And she had a grandfather who believed in quiet skills. He taught her how to breathe with the land, how to slow the heart when it wanted to sprint, how to make space between thought and action. When illness took him, the lesson stayed, lodged deep where fear couldn't reach. The invitation that brought her to the base was a technicality, a line item in a program designed to scout talent without prejudice. On paper, she met the criteria. In person, she was a disruption. Men who had trained for years glanced her way and smirked, not out of cruelty alone but out of habit, out of a system that taught them to trust. Her first shot landed clean, the target answering with a crisp confirmation. A few eyebrows lifted, nothing more. The second shot followed, then the third, each one measured, each one placed with intention. She did not rush to keep up with the tempo around her. She set her own, a slow drumbeat that refused to be hurried. Where others attacked the problem, she solved it. Where others leaned on muscle memory, she leaned on awareness. The wind shifted, and she waited. The sun flared off a scope, and she adjusted. Her breathing stayed low and even, as if she were alone on a quiet hillside with no one watching. The scoffing softened into curiosity. The laughter faded, replaced by glances that lingered a second longer. A few misses from the line drew attention away from her, but she did not let that distract her. Pressure is a mirror, her grandfather used to say, it shows you what you already carry. She carried steadiness. She carried the patience of a girl who had learned to make room for others while saving a corner for herself. As the drills grew more complex, fatigue began to carve into shoulders and wrists. The men were strong, trained to push through pain, but the cumulative weight of speed and expectation took its toll. She felt the ache too, but her approach protected her. Economy of motion saved energy, intention reduced waste. When the longest shots were introduced, the range stretched like a challenge thrown by the earth itself. Wind flags snapped. Heat shimmered. This was where ego often stumbled. She took her time. She read the wind like a language she had spoken since childhood, felt it press against her cheek and slide past her ear. She adjusted by millimeters, by trust. The shot broke clean, and the target answered. Again. And again. Each confirmation tightened the air. Conversations died mid-sentence. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. By the final tally, the numbers stood like a verdict no one had expected. Her hits did not just compete, they eclipsed.